EA Sports, and the PGA of America are proud to present final round coverage of the PGA Championship. They have gathered from around the world here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final major championship of the year. We will crown our next PGA Championship winner. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Happy to be here calling all the action. Frank, what is the
time to get here, but it's well deserved, Rich. When you think of the luster of the Wanamaker Trophy, winners like Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth of recent, but Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, the list goes on and on. The fourth major, some say the defining major, of course, that we're well used to now. So I'm looking forward to it, Rich.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Frank, what's the right play here on this approach at the first?
You can go at the flag here at the opening hole, Rich, because the flag's normally in these little pockets on the screen around the big ridge in the middle.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Shouldn't be a problem here. Good par. Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3 downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one, but when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Wow, I thought he made that. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par. Really solid stroke.
Moving on to the third hole now. It's a par 4, 452 yards.
Big sweeping dogleg left, and the fairway actually goes in the opposite direction of the dogleg. Must hit a good tee shot for two reasons. One, to find the fairway, and also the length of this hole, over 450 yards.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. So this is where club selection becomes much more important. Uphill, make sure you have enough stick, and then swing away. Yes, he's holed it, Frank.
Unbelievable. From that distance.
Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. As we check in on this early final.
Yeah, some great golf. I really like the way they've been playing right now. Certainly playing aggressive golf, and that's getting rewarded today too. If there's a little bit of timidity at the top there, then there's this great opportunity that's going to open up, especially over those closing few holes.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Beautiful roll on that one, right in the bottom. Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the 5th, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. You're sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here.
Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Second shot, good look at the green. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there.
A tester from 4 feet.
What a tremendous display of golf this has been.
Certainly throwing an eagle against the field, too. We've seen it all. Birdies, eagles, just blitzing the field from start to finish.
Now to the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
Good lie in the fairway, good chance to make something happen here. Frank, still relatively early in the round, but given what we've seen so far, this could be a heck of a golf round.
Yeah, right now, everything's just going according to plan. It's like he's playing on all 8 cylinders. So really, you're just trying to get out of your own way.
Pretty good shot right there. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like when he goes after it like he is here, that is burning through the atmosphere. Look at that thing. It's got a tail on it.
Yeah, that's like a rocket ship. That one was launched by NASA. And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours. Should be safely on.
No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, what a beautiful roll right there. Dead center. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my age.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through.
Has it come down yet? Not only is it straight, it's mega long.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but there's well on the cards.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want it, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
Frank, how about that?
Can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away instead. Straight in. Amazing shot. And really deserves it.
Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one slightly downhill. Fairway tilts a little bit to the right. And it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Good read, good line, well played.
Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
Well, you'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
In for par. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around 270 and kicks 30 or 40 yards, finishes up about 20 yards short of the green. I think that's the best ploy. You won't be able to get at all the flags, but I think you'll play the hole under par for the week.
When's the right time to pull out the big driver and have a go at this green?
I don't think there is, but maybe you at home should try.
He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards, Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I'd say.
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. Good putt. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Here we go. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Count that. That's a birdie. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has, it plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right play.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet. This hole's been good to him. 30 yesterday. Trying for another one today.
He's made it. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you get the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I have got no idea how big it would be.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Just a tremendous week of golf. And that, my friend, is a winner right there.
Yeah, and he should be proud of himself too. It took golf of the highest quality to beat this high quality field, and that is something that you will remember for a long, long time.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Charity Invitational.
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil.
Grab the fire extinguisher. Put out that ball is on fire. It's melting going through the air. Huge with a capital H.
Moved it a long ways. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
And it makes the green in regulation. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Starting to move now, Frank, on this leaderboard.
Certainly going all in the positive direction. He's in the middle of the pack, now top 15.
Frank, they call this second hole Black Rock. They also call it the most heavily bunkered hole on the entire course. What do you have to do to stay away from it?
Well, it plays in the same direction as the first hole. So the prevailing breeze normally off the right. Some bunkers in play either side. Really just let the ball go to ground, let it run out. There's 11 bunkers in total on the second hole.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, looking at the third, what are the sort of key decisions that you have to make?
There's two bunkers down the left. They're not really the issue. They're the berm. That's 285 yards. This is not a hole, really. You just take the driver out and swing away. Just something that stays up short of that. It's just going to leave you a short iron in.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
His momentum.
And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. Couple of birdies already on the card. Still early, Frank, but we've seen some solid play.
This is exactly how you want to start the first round of a tournament, Rich. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just a couple of feet. Well, that is an eagle with a capital E. It is exciting and into the top 5.
Big jump up the leaderboard.
At the par 3 fifth, ready to get this hole started.
Prevailing breeze once again should be coming from the water, which is on the right. That makes that tee shot a little bit more difficult because it pushes the ball to those 3 bunkers on the left side. Oh, this is straight at it.
It's a really good line. Easy birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. What a good hole. They call it the slopes. And the rough off the right-hand side of the green, really some of the most punishing on the entire course.
And the one thing you don't want to do is actually leave it up there on that high side, because it means that you'll be chipping downhill.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship.
Ball's teed up, ready to fly here at the 7th.
Yeah, it's a slight elevated tee, so you see all the problems in front of you. A couple of bunkers down the left, 2 down the right. It's links golf, so you know where you got to go. That's in between them.
Oh, come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350 plus yards. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. All right, Frank, as we arrive at the par 3 8th, the only thing I can think of is if a 71-year-old guy can make an ace here, well, then so can our gamers.
Well, they certainly can. At 123 yards, well, you think it'd be, why shouldn't it be called the postage stamp? Go with too much club, it's one you'll MO.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Always like to get to double figures under par, 10 under already. Frank, how does the front 9 finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
In the fairway here at the 10th, a nice way to start off the back 9. This looks to be at least an extra club, maybe 2 clubs going way up that hill to the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Continues to amaze, yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Hole number 11 is called Railway. Frank, it looks as though it should be called Gorse because that's about all I see on this first shot.
Without doubt, the toughest tee shot you're going to face at Royal Troon. This is hit the fairway or start racking up a big score.
That's in the fairway. Second shot. Good look at the green. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. What a shot. Perfectly placed right next to the hole. Nudge this one home. Finish it up. That's a birdie. And that's a good position from which to make a weekend move. Comfortably inside the cut line. Still with plenty of time left in this tournament. Back here on the bonny shores of Scotland at Royal Troon Golf Club with just a wee breeze, as they say over here, Frank. On the tee at the 12th.
Yeah, hole that bends to the right, Gorse right and left. There's a bit of a mound and rough down the right side. That has to be avoided.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Settles in over the putt. And he has it for birdie. And now the tee shot here at the 472-yard par 4 13th.
A hole that bends to the right. Ideally hit it down the left side. When you're playing to a raised two-tiered green.
Just pulverized that golf ball.
Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
Hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that hole location. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Good putt. On the tee here at 14, it's another par 3, Frank.
You don't get caught looking at the front of the green. That's where it's at its most narrow. Ideally, something that pitches just into the top of that mound.
Here we go. Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Now a 7-footer. You love to watch him disappear, don't you? Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Good looking shot right here. Just an excellent shot right there, about 5 feet away. Good chance. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Now the lone par 5 on the back nine, the 16th, and while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option. That's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there and right down Peachtree. Superb position right in the fairway and 200 yards to the flagstick. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, an eagle. What a putt. Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit, 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green.
Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. Getting set now over the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, now the final hole here at Royal Troon, and when you think about the legends who have made the walk toward the clubhouse and the claret jug, it really does give you a sense of where you're at. How about Arnold Palmer, Bobby Lott, Tom Watson, Tom Weiskopf? They've all made the walk on this final hole to the claret jug.
And they've all hit great tee shots, and that's really what you need here. There's a bunker for just about every distance you hit the ball. So there's 3 down the left. There's no other way around it but avoiding them. And there's 1 down the right if you try and play it too safe.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Just amazing what they're able to do with that golf swing. Hit it so far at that size. Not overly big, but man, can really move it a long ways. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, another great example of links golf. It's not a particularly long hole, but there is trouble if you hit it offline.
Yeah, there's a bunker down there at about 280 yards that has to be avoided. Only the long hitters or perhaps the wind behind your back is the reason to take that bunker on.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a burn there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green that has 2 tiers.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. And that's a birdie. It's a dogleg right, par 5, the fourth hole. Can you cut the corner here, Frank?
Well, you don't have to. There is a bunker down the right side that's going to take at least 280 yards. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. That is just a beautiful shot.
Second shot. Surely not.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. At the par 3 fifth, ready to get this hole started.
Prevailing breeze once again should be coming from the water, which is on the right. That makes that tee shot a little bit more difficult because it pushes the ball to those 3 bunkers on the left side.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, Frank, typically when you step up to a par 5, you're thinking birdie, maybe even eagle. But this is 601 yards, behemoth. It's long, and you can get punished for a mistake here, can't you?
It used to be the longest par 5 on the Open Championship rotor. But remember, there's humps and hollows that can always be used in your advantage. To your advantage. If you aim it down the right side, the ball normally kicks back towards the middle of the fairway. So that's the side to be aiming on.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Just a couple of feet. He's made it. All right, Frank, how about the 6th hole, long par 5?
Yeah, 3 bunkers off the tee, avoid those. But if you hit a good one, certainly reachable.
Moving inland now, Frank, the par 4 7th hole. Do you even think about carrying those bunkers on the right?
Not really, Rich. You're trying to work that ball off the left side, because if you get caught up on the hills there on the right, then all of a sudden you can start making 5s, 6s, and all sorts of weird and wonderful numbers. Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
In the hole and a birdie. Frank, the 8th hole, it is one of the most famous in the world, the little postage stamp par 3.
Yeah, the front part of this green's the widest, Rich. Then it starts to narrow up. So you never know. Maybe going a little lower if you're going to go towards the back of the green. But really, if you're going to err, you want to err on that first third, first half of the screen.
And you don't want to come in too hot and roll it off the back. Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Good putt. Frank, how does the front 9 finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 9th is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just 1 bunker down the left to be avoided. That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. If it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. Good looking shot right here. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
That's good work by the former PGA teaching professional, one of the best instructors in the country, with a birdie now inside the cut line. Daunting tee shot here at the par 4 11th, Frank. This is all you want.
Yeah, this requires your best tee shot. Doesn't matter if it goes left to right or right to left. This is a must-hit fairway. Otherwise, you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there and right down Peachtree.
Well, it's going to take a good one here considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Safely on the dance floor.
Getting set now over the putt. Good effort and good par putt. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is course right and left. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
You hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that hole location. Safely aboard. And drops it in. Frank, break down the par 4 13 for us.
Another par 4 that bends to the right. Lots of undulation on this fairway. This is the first of 6 straight holes that head in the direction of the clubhouse.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that. Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. On the tee here at 14, it's another par 3, Frank.
You don't get caught looking at the front of the green. That's where it's at its most narrow. Ideally, something that pitches just into the top of that mound.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Not a gimme, but well within his range. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. And from the fairway for his second shot here. That will be a great look at birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Now the lone par 5 on the back nine, the 16th, and while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option, and that's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Big swing right there, a great result, and now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Eagle on the
Frank, now to the hole they called Rabbit, 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green.
This is a good-looking shot. Doing whatever he wants with that golf ball. Moving left, moving it right, hitting it straight when it's called for. He's doing it all.
Really solid stroke.
Frank, now the final hole here at Royal Troon, and when you think about the legends who have made the walk toward the clubhouse and the claret jug, it really does give you a sense of where you're at. How about Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, Tom Watson, Tom Weiskopf? They've all made the walk on this final hole. The claret jug.
And they've all hit great tee shots, and that's really what you need here. There's a bunker for just about every distance you hit the ball. So there's 3 down the left. There's no other way around it but avoiding them. And there's 1 down the right if you try and play it too safe.
Frank, such an advantage when you can hit that far.
It's not fair.
Frank, obviously here at 18, you do not want to be long.
Yeah, err on the side of caution here. You're exactly right. You'd rather be 30 feet short of this flag than 30 feet over the back of this green, because it might just be out of bounds.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Par yesterday, now for birdie. On the way. Oh, do that. What a putt.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Drivable par 4. Not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. And Frank, this is just an absolute bludgeoning right now. An eagle, and the lead widens. Frank, as we step to the tee here at the par 4 second hole, just 391 yards, but a classic case on links golf where the bunkering here is just so much different than a classic American layout.
And it's also where a change of strategy will certainly help. Remember, the ball's going to run much further here in Scotland than what it will in America. So you can use a shorter club and let that ball to run out to the normal distance you would hit it, perhaps with 2 or 3 clubs more.
Second shot, good look at the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Will make birdie if this drops. And it drops for birdie. Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't. He goes after it like he is here. Rich, that is annihilation of a golf ball.
Absolutely love it. I mean, he just tore that thing to pieces. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is in the middle of the third. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
And now the second shot here at this par 5. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Frank, how rare would this be if this putt drops?
Well, this is I'd like to say once in a lifetime, but on the odd occasion we do see back-to-back eagles. But it certainly is something to watch.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Now the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole, a little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of the screen.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
And getting ready for the putt. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
What a good hole. They call it the slopes. And the rough off the right-hand side of the green, really some of the most punishing on the entire course.
Yeah, and the one thing you don't want to do is actually leave it up and down the high side. It means that you're chipping downhill.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there, and right down Peachtree. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, going back 100 years or more, we used to see winning scores in stroke play tournaments, 72-hole events of 300 thereabouts, but obviously, like so many things in golf, everything has improved.
Yeah, people would scoff at sort of saying 475s would win a US Open or a British Open. It didn't, and it does. But with equipment and people have really got into the game, they've worked it out, and they just plain got better at it. They realise that stroke play you can't just swing from the trees, so to speak. You've really got to work your way around and get better. You just can't sort of settle for mediocrity.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that, hanging in the sky.
Oh, come on, that's not even human.
That's ridiculous. That is 350-plus yards. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
That shot falls for a birdie. Frank, the 8th hole, it is one of the most famous in the world, the little postage stamp par 3.
Yeah, the front part of this green's the widest, Rich. Then it starts to narrow up, so you never know. Maybe going a little lower if you're going to go towards the back of the green. But really, if you're going to err, you want to err on that first third, first half of the screen.
Well, you don't want to come in too hot and roll it off the back. Has it. Back to the action here as we get ready to tee off at the par 3 8th.
Yeah, 5 bunkers surround this green that's perched up. The 2 really to avoid, they're on the right side. They're incredibly deep pot bunkers. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, boy, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Getting set now over the putt.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Frank, this 11th hole can be a real bear. Even the Golden Bear knows that.
Yeah, just to remind him, in his rookie year in 1962, he made a whopping 11. Now, I can't remember the last time I heard Jack Nicklaus made double figures on one hole.
And so maybe a bogey 5 or even a double bogey 6. Not so bad. And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Back here on the bonny shores of Scotland at Royal Troon Golf Club with just a wee breeze, as they say over here, Frank. On the tee at the 12.
The hole that bends to the right, gorse right and left. There's a bit of a mound and rough down the right side. That has to be avoided.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Count that for a birdie. Frank beginning to head towards home. This is the 13th of par 4.
Another dogleg right. Problem isn't really the tee shot here, even though there's undulations and mounds all over the fairway. Second shot's played uphill to an elevated green. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Necklace over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. On the green, and a chance for birdie. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday, and he'd do it again today. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, what kind of par 3 is the 14th here?
You can get sucked in here. Just 180 yards, which isn't considered that long. But if you look too much at the front of the green, you're going to see that's where the protection is.
Appears to be tracking well. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. These putts keep the round together.
Really solid stroke.
At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers. 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Had a birdie here yesterday in their close. Great opportunity for another one. Will make birdie if this drops. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it on the green from behind the burn. It was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Good scoring opportunity. Third shot here at the par 5. On the green in regulation. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Final par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 17th. And what kind of a hole is it, Frank?
Well, this takes your best long iron shot. Normally plays back into the prevailing breeze. You miss this green on the left, it will run all the way down the hill. The bunkers might look short, but if your tee shot isn't hit properly, it'll puff up into that breeze and certainly find a pot bunker.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round. Great too.
Beautiful. Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
If you've got a one-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, with a strip of fairway in between.
Good strike,
Good lie. Good chance to attack the pin. Frank, obviously here at 18, you do not want to be long.
Yeah, err on the side of caution here. You're exactly right. You'd rather be 30 feet short of this flag than 30 feet over the back of the screen, because it might just be out of bounds.
Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole today.
That's the idea. Just knock it in. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Charity Invitational. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here in the first hole. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence. A great start.
Frank, they call this second hole Black Rock. They also call it the most heavily bunkered.
Well, when he goes after it like he is here. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
And it looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot in there. Easy birdie.
How about this? Birdies at 1 and 2. We could be in for something pretty special today. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the 3rd. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Not too much and not too little. Perfectly played into the center of the cup. Here's the first par 5 on the golf course. It's the 4th hole. Frank, how good of a scoring opportunity is this?
Certainly one of the best opportunities on the front side. There's 3 bunkers, but really the one that you focus on is the one on the right. If you can carry that, that's certainly the one to take on, because that ball will kick a lot further down the fairway. And sometimes you can be left with just a mid-iron into this green.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. On to the fifth hole now, Frank, and this is really where the old course starts to test the golfers. It's just over 200 yards. Are you happy with a par 3 here?
You are. This is one of the toughest shots, certainly on the outward 9. There's 4 bunkers of this par 3. You don't really worry about the one that's short left, but the one just on the front right of the green is the biggest concern. You've either got to go around it or carry it.
Shouldn't be a problem here. You always like that. Count it as a birdie. Moving on to hole number 6 here at Royal Troon. Frank, what are the golfers facing at this long par 5?
Well, you've got to attack this hole in chunks, Rich. Just allow the mounding on the right to kick the ball forward, then try and position that second shot. Keep well away from that pot bunker that's a little bit short, about 30 yards right and short of this green. That is the one that causes the problem.
Oh, my goodness. He pumped it, he thumped it, he jumped it. What a drive. Just a sensational shot, and he will have that for an eagle.
Amazing. Just like that, pick up 2 on the field.
Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right. Ideally, just a little cut off the tee.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, the 8th hole, it is one of the most famous in the world, the little postage stamp par 3.
Yeah, the front part of the screen's the widest, Rich. Then it starts to narrow up. So you never know. Maybe going a little lower if you're going to go towards the back of the green. But really, if you're going to err, you want to err on that first third, first half of the screen.
Yeah, you don't want to come in too hot and roll it off the back.
Good read, good line. Well played.
Frank, how does the front 9 finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 9th is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dog leg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided. That's an absolute beauty.
Second shot. Good look at the green. This is a good-looking shot. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Score that a birdie. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. That is classy.
I had a chance of going in.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today.
made it. Frank, you come to an Open Championship and you expect to hear the term gorse. You see it here on the 11th hole. If you do end up in the gorse, what can you possibly do to get out?
Well, anything you can. A lot of the times it's an unplayable lie, but if you remember back 2004, Ernie Els tried to play a ball when it was suspended about 3 feet off the ground and managed to flick it out of the sort of the thorny gorse.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. See if you can clip this one perfectly, drive it in there from about 120 yards. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Just a tap in to finish the hole.
Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank. So what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
Frank, that one is long, and it is straight.
Well, in baseball, that's a home run. In golf, that is a huge advantage over everybody else that plays the game. Can you imagine just teeing up on every hole knowing that you've got 20 or plus yards over your fellow competitors?
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's formality now.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
I'm loving that balance.
Split the fairway with that. Just a gorgeous swing. Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
All right, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14th, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Birdie here yesterday, time to do it again today.
Really solid stroke.
At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. Find a fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are over the screen.
Come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350 plus yards. Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Gonna test her from 4 feet.
Field another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance.
Ball just took off the face. Rich, there's such a big advantage. You tee it up on a peg there. It should be an easy shot. But remember, this is the most powerful club in the bag. This is the one that you have to nail out of the middle of club face.
Demonstrating there and really all day that he is one of the best drivers of the golf ball in the sport.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. But they don't come around too often. Opportunities for eagle. You want to seize it if you get the chance. This is a good one here.
Final par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 17th. And what kind of a hole is it, Frank?
Well, this takes your best long iron shot. Normally plays back into the prevailing breeze. You miss this green on the left, it will run all the way down the hill. The bunkers might look short, but if your tee shot isn't hit properly, it'll puff up into that breeze and certainly find a pot bunker.
That would be a great look at birdie.
Locked in on the read and the speed.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
If you've got a one-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, with a strip of fairway in between. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicklaus over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
To win the Charity Invitational. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire. And I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Good swing, good shot yet again. That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Steady climber right here with another par.
In the top 5. Should be well pleased with that right now.
Relatively short par 4, second hole. Frank, what's the right play off the tee here? It's probably not driver.
It certainly isn't. You need a decent yardage in for your second shot, so you don't really want to hit it past those last of the 6 bunkers on that right side. It leaves a shot of 100, 110 yards. There's another tee box a little further up where they can make it like drivable at 265 yards, but for such a short hole, this is sort of a fearsome one. You always feel like you're making a mistake when you're putting the ball on the tee.
And that is an eagle with a capital E. It is exciting and into the top 5.
Way to jump up the leaderboard.
Third hole's par 4. Again, it's 428 yards, but Frank, we look out to the left and we can see.
Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
Just amazing what they're able to do with that golf swing. Hit it so far at that size. Not overly big, but man, can really move it a long ways. And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Almost. Wow. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Oh, that hurts. Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank? And now back over to the 4th. Frank, you have to be impressed with what you've seen from the golfer so far.
It's rock solid. The ultimate of professional. Doing exactly what you should be on a day like today.
Frank just continuing to make the game look easy.
This just shortens the whole golf course up when you can hit it that far.
Let's see what happens here on this third shot to the par 5, 4th hole. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
So the eagle goes begging. He still has this for birdie. That's a birdie. That's a good position from which to make a weekend move. Comfortably inside the cut line. Still with plenty of time left in this tournament. We're at the 5th hole now. Short hole, but Frank, pretty challenging even at 382 yards.
Yeah, you've got the bunkers are staggered. The first 3 coming down the left side, and then they start to link up with the ones on the right side that just sort of narrow this fairway up. It just sort of changes the strategy. But if you can just sort of thread an iron up there, that's the main thing. Because this green is going to be very narrow in the front and then slope away to the player's left.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
His momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Nice par to remain 3 under. Frank, what's the pros' take on the first par 3 here at Oakmont, the 6th, at just under 200 yards?
Oh, it's a real beauty. Very narrow in the front. You see how it pinches in so close. It starts to widen up, but even to try and carry that bunker on the right side, there's very few players in the world that could hit it that high and manage to stop the ball in that corner. Once again, you're trying to thread it through that avenue at the front of this green. It's a tough par 3.
Don't want to miss it right here.
No.
So close. Well, that was just a lousy putt right there. No other way to say it. This would give him the par. Got it for par. And we've come to the par 4 7th. It is 434 yards. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. That's a good birdie right there. And to 4 under par for the championship. Here at the 8th at Oakmont, a famous hole. And Frank, it's not often we say of a par 3 that it is a beast. But the 8th at Oakmont is just that.
Yeah, you can imagine a 300-yard par 3 to a flat green. That would be hard enough. But imagine a 300-yard par 3 at a U.S. Open to a green that goes up at the front and then crowns at the top and then slips away at both sides. That's the 8th.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
Frank, chip shot here from just on the fringe. You like to hit this the way you would a putt?
Yeah, I normally take a club that's going to land just on the flat surface of the green, then run from there. Often people take too much loft. You know, the way that came out, really lucky to be on the fringe.
He'll still have a good chance to come out of here with a decent score. And he's made the green. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. He'll be a bit disappointed he didn't make that. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, double par here, time to pick up and move on. Here we are at the 9th, par 4, 477 yards. Frank, this is a rugged hole.
It is. It used to be a par 5. Some say it should still be a par 5. But long, straight hole runs alongside the first hole there. Bunkers left and right. And, of course, if you find the rough, the remnants of what it used to be a par 5 is that nice little cross bunker in the middle of the fairway, which forces you to lay up.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Frank, you've been there. This is kind of a memorable approach shot, isn't it? The 2nd to the 9th.
Yeah, often you'll have people putting on the back because part of that is the practice putting green. So you'll see many of approach shot bound through and go between the legs of some people trying to get ready for their round. Green might look like a big square, but there's not too many flat sections in this green.
has it, now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole.
He has a birdie opportunity here.
And with that, he'll go to 3 under. Frank, it's only 379 yards, a par 4. You thinking birdie here at the 11th?
You would think for that distance, no, but you take 4 here. It's a stringent tee shot. The fairway doesn't really look pleasing to the eye. It looks like it moves out to the left, but that's exactly where those bunkers are. So more often than not, we see players hitting out of the right rough. And back in 1994, this is where the playoff finished with Lauren Roberts and Ernie Els.
Early part of this second 9, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
Really? This is that awkward length.
Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. This can be a cruel game at times. That's costly right there.
Painful.
Bad news is, that's a bogey. The good news, still tied for the lead.
He's the only one disappointed. The rest of the field aren't. Made it a real cat fight.
We are at the par 5 12th here at Oakmont. This is a big par 5 at 667 yards.
Oh, I liked that.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Second from an excellent lie. Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game.
All right, Frank, at the par 3 13th at 183 yards, what do you see here?
Well, there's a lot of things to consider, but the general slope of this green really makes you either hit to a specific section on the green or just try and keep the ball below the hole. It's always easy to putt uphill on fast greens.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament.
14, pretty short par 4 at 358 yards. Frank?
Get the ball in play here, and certainly your best opportunity for birdie on the second 9 so far. Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut.
Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win.
Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Frank, we see it every single round. These kind of putts determine whether it's a good score or an average score.
Yeah, and just like that, a bogey. In this situation, Rich, a bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards. Split the fairway with that. Just a gorgeous swing. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Here at the 15th, a long par 4 at 499 yards. Frank, what are you looking to do off the tee?
Tee shot here is very similar to the one back at the par 5 where the fairway slopes left to right. And then the second shot's going to be uphill to a green that's actually built in the opposite direction. This is a tough par 4.
That will be a great look at birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Now a 7-footer.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Now on to the 17th hole, and Frank, in so many ways, this determined the outcome of the 2007 U.S. Open. Jim Furyk had his issues here. It's just 313 yards, but it can really play with a player's mind.
It's such an unusual par 4 for a U.S. Open, plus also where it comes in the round, because the options, and there's only really two, is like a 4 or 5 iron. You sneak it up the right side, or you take a driver directly at the green. You would think there's something in between, but really there isn't. And that's why, to your point, it stopped Jim Furyk, it stopped Tiger Woods, it allowed Cabrera to win. It also helped Ernie Els, who went with the driver option there back in 1994. So 17, it's short, it's tempting, it is at a U.S. Open, but it is still demanding.
And he's made it onto the green now. Impressive. Once again, that's a par, remaining at 5 under.
This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint.
Well, when he goes after it, he is here.
I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I have ever seen. Just let it rip.
Ooh, that is long.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Well, Frank, round 1 in the books. Look who's on top of the leaderboard.
And that's with some strong play today. They don't really need to look back. Strong play heading into the second round tomorrow.